I'm gonna be honest, it's my first time doing this live thing, and I'm guessing it's your first time too. And what I've realized is nobody knows what they are doing, dude. Like, nobody knows. They can have a general idea, but nobody really knows what the next move is. There wasn't a playthrough that you could watch on YouTube on how to do this. Actually, nobody knows what they are doing. They might have an idea of what they're doing, but they are making the plan up as they go along. And now that I realize this, I feel a whole lot better about my life. So, look, growing up, I used to see, adults as people who had their life figured out. They knew what they were doing, they had a plan, and it just looked like they had it all together. But when you become an adult yourself and you realize the world is so chaotic, you are in control of almost none of it. The only thing you're in control of is yourself, which is also, I suppose, a big issue for a lot of us in our 20s because a lot of us have control issues. We want to be in control of the outcome of things. And when you become an adult, you realize that that's just not how it works. You are at the will of the universe in a way. And all you have control over is your mind and the decisions you make based on your own circumstances. And this really gave me a sense of comfort because, as I explained in my previous video, I've been going through like a quarter life crisis. But I've just come to realize, man, that, I'm not in control of half the things that I want to be in control of. And it's simply not possible. The only thing I control is my mind and the decisions I make based off of that mind. And that's all I can really, invest my stock into. And I just don't know why I haven't. It's such a basic concept that all of you have heard before that you can only control yourself. You can't control the environment around you. You can't control the people around you, and nor should you try. And I think that's where the problem has set in with me, that I've always tried to influence the world around me and being unhappy when it just doesn't go my way. And I think this is just something that I need to let go of, something that I'm definitely trying to accept. And I think it's freeing. It lifts a weight off of your shoulders when you actually just, let go, man. Just let go, because all you are doing is putting extra stress on your mind, and it'll negatively affect your physical health as well. Because I think anxiety in your 20s is also just super out of control right now because, we are being bombarded with all the atrocities you can think of in the world happening all at once in a few seconds of scrolling on a social media app. And then we go back to our own life, which feels chaotic. And when you put those two things together, it just creates something that is totally unmanageable. And I've been trying to lessen my screen time. I haven't been doing that well though, to be honest. Like, I find myself on Twitter so often, even when I just don't want to be. It's the first app I go to, man. That and my YouTube analytics. Because for some reason, dude, doing YouTube, I knew that this could be an issue because of watching other YouTubers' journeys, like them talking about it, that stay away from that YouTube Studio app. Don't download it on your phone. I didn't listen to them. And now when I post a video, I'm like always checking every half an hour, every hour. Did it get more views? Are people liking it? Did I get a negative comment? And this is added to that control issue stress that I've been having. And now that like I'm talking about it to you guys, it makes me realize how stupid it is because I can't control if I get negative comments. I can't control if people don't like the video. That's their opinion. So why am I so focused on trying to make everything, how I want it? It's just impossible. It's an impractical, impossible way to live your life. And I just don't know if other people are struggling with this too. Let me know in the comments if you have been dealing with this kind of thing. But I'm just realizing that I need to let go, man. There's so much in this world that I just cannot control, and I just shouldn't even try because it's just going to make me unhappy. It's literally just going to make me miserable trying to bend the world to, the way I want it to be. And I'm not saying that like I'm not saying it in a way that I just want to, lie down and let the world, just roll over me. No, not at all. I'm just saying that I can't control if I'm going to get a certain job or this YouTube video is going to take off. All I can control is the effort I put into things and the way I think about things and the way I respond to things. That's all I can do. And obviously the way that I treat other people. I can't control how other people treat me, which I think is also something that I've struggled with over the years. If I treat somebody well, I want them to reciprocate that. But, you know, getting into the adult world, you realize that that's not always possible. And it can never be perfect like that. Some people are just, not going to treat you well. Some people are just not going to like you. Even though you really want them to like you, they aren't going to do it. And you shouldn't try and force them to either. It's their prerogative if they like you or not. You shouldn't care. And I feel like I don't know if it's the way I grew up, you know, developing these kind of tendencies, but my partner is like completely the opposite. She really just doesn't care what other people think. And I think it's such a good model for life. Whereas I completely care what people think, which, starting YouTube is probably, the worst idea because you're going to get negative comments and dislikes and people trolling you. And you know not a very good combination for someone with my personality, but I think it's been pretty good because now I've been forced to deal with it and just accept it and let it go. Just let it go. That is what I'm trying to adopt, like a kung fu panda mentality, like Poe. I just water off a duck's back, bro. You just gotta let go. You just gotta let it be. There's no answer to this life. There's no secret formula. It's it's just you. As Poe said, as he said in Kung Fu Panda, bro, when the tiger, wanted that scroll to make him the ultimate, warrior. And then when he saw that there was nothing on the page, he was like, where is it? And then Poe was like, yeah, man, I didn't understand it at first too, but it's just you. Which is actually like so goated now that I'm older that I realize that it really is just you. The world around you has nothing to do with what's going on inside your head. And talking about it is so much easier than actually putting it into practice. I completely understand that because, right after I hop off this video, I bet something could trigger me and then I'm letting it affect me. I'm not a perfect person, but I just realized that I have been doing things wrong and I need to just let go, man. I've always been, like I said earlier, the kind of person that wants to make outcomes the way I want them to be. I want things to be the way that I've thought about them in my head. It should be this way. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks like this. Many people have these kind of tendencies that they grew up with that, they want the world to be shaped perfectly the way that they see fit. And when things don't go their way, then it almost feels like the world is caving in because how did that happen? It wasn't supposed to happen like that. And it's definitely gotten better over the years as I've gotten older. I'm 26 years old now and I'm learning to deal with those things better. But specifically about like purpose wise and, why other people are winning and I'm not, and all of these things that creep into your mind when you are in your 20s, I just realized that the answer is to let go. The answer is to let go. And that is usually when good things happen for you. That's when your purpose finds you and you are just completely happy with yourself and your life and your mental state. That's when opportunities start opening up. When you focus on things, they end up running away from you. And I just have seen this pattern repeat so many times in my life, but it's like I can't fully just let go of things. I can't just fully, have something not figured out and be okay with it that it's not figured out. I always want to have everything planned out and figured out. Whereas I just need to, just accept that life is a game that you don't have the steps to. You can't just search a YouTube video and then all of a sudden you have the playbook, you have the step-by-step guide of how to live. It's just not possible. You need to be okay with things being up in the air. And that is something that I'm just trying to get better at every single day. And I think talking about it on this video helps me, internalize the message as well, that it's okay to not have everything figured out. Our parents certainly didn't, they still don't. Like now that I'm older, being able to talk to my parents about, life and struggles and, how they are finding things now that they're getting into their twilight years. It's like, dude, older people don't even have it figured out. They don't. They take life as it comes, man. And I feel like that's why a lot of older people, like you do get grumpy old people, a lot of them are. But I just think that there's a lot of older generation people out there that are content. When you see them in the store, like in the grocery store, waiting in line, it's a long line. And some of them just look so unbothered, bro. Like just so unbothered with everyone else around them is getting flustered. Usually young people with our Zoomer brains, we just want to, go, go, go. We need to get to the cashier, pay, get out of there, move on to the next task. Whereas older people are just like so cool with hanging around, just chilling, letting life happen, letting it unfold in front of them. And I'm just realizing that could be the meta. Like that could actually be the thing that works, bro. Because how are you going to tell me that wanting to rush and have everything planned out step by step is a good way to live? It's how I've always been wanting to live. I always want everything figured out. I don't want anything to be up in the air, And realizing that that's just causing me more hurt, maybe the other way is better, where not saying you don't have anything figured out. I'm just saying the small stuff, especially because that's what we as people tend to focus on. It's the small unimportant things that get us riled up the most, that upset us the most. And older people just, I think they've learned over the years that, having things, small things not figured out, it's fine. As long as you have the big things covered, why sweat the small stuff? And I really think it's time we take that advice as young people, because how are we just going to let small things raise our cortisol levels like this? Let us get cortisol spikes, bro. It's just not, older people are calm maxing. They are stoic maxing. And we are out here stress maxing. I can't believe I just said any of that shit out loud. But going back to like figuring out the big stuff and then not sweating the small stuff, we actually need to figure out what the big stuff really are. And I don't think it's your job. I don't think it's the house you have. I don't think it's the car you drive. I think the big things are not what we've been told that they should be. It's not just about your future and about things like that. I think it's about something simple. I think it's about your mental state. I think it's about your internal environment. I think it's how you treat people. I think it's how you treat animals. I think those are the big things. And I'm not saying that what you do for a living and, all that kind of stuff isn't important. Of course it is to an extent, but we don't place nearly enough importance on things like how we treat people and how we treat animals, things like that. I just feel that it's all based around metrics. Specifically in your 20s, we care about metrics, how much money does our 401k get per year, or how much do we earn per year, or how much rent do we pay per month, what size house do we live in, did you buy a house before all your peers, did you do that? It's all just, I feel like in your 20s, man, especially with social media culture, we're being taught to achieve certain metrics by a certain age, which is another metric. You need to earn X before you turn Y years old. And it's all just stupid, man, because you have, like, for instance, like these day traders that on Instagram are posing to be like these millionaire traders, and they're so young at 18 years old, they've made their first like $100,000 or whatever, but then you come to find out it's all fake. None of it's real. But seeing that stuff on your feed just makes you feel inadequate. It makes you feel like you're behind. It makes you feel like you don't know what you're doing. It gives you a false sense of reality. And I'm just sick of it, man, because none of that stuff is real. Like, obviously, yes, you do get super successful young people, but they make up such a infinitesimally, did I say that right? Infinitesimally small percentage of the population. Like, in our minds, we rarely make the few feel like the many. We make a few people's real success stories feel like it should be the norm. And I'm just so done thinking that way because of how it's affected me mentally, man. It's just not worth it, bro. Of course, you need to have ambition. You need to have something, a goal that you are striving towards, of course. But living by these false standards, trying to set your own life path according to somebody else's standards and possible fake standards, as I've just mentioned, it's just going to cause you more heartache, bro. And it's not worth it. And something else to talk about, like why us young people, we feel that we should have been owning our first home already because our parents owned a home when they were this age. I also want you to realize that we don't live in the same world as they did. We don't play the same game that they played. Whether you are, whatever continent you are living on, the economy is different. It's not easy to buy a house like it was all those years ago with the baby boomer generation. It's really not easy, and we cannot, it's impossible to compare our standards, like those standards of a 25-year-old person back then to a 25-year-old now. 25-year-olds now are still living with their parents, bro, because they can't afford rent and they can't afford to buy a house even. And these are people that are graduates. They are people that have bachelor's degree, postgrad degrees that are still living at home. And I'm by no means saying it's impossible for people our age nowadays to get that bag and being able to buy a home or whatever. I'm just saying for the large majority of people, it is going to be nearly impossible. That's just a fact. I'm not saying it's impossible entirely, but for the broad majority of people in this age bracket, they aren't going to be homeowners anytime soon, that is, I mean. And, we just need to accept that this is the game we are playing. This is the world we are in. We need to move differently. People are renting more instead of buying. Even people in their 30s are still renting, bro. It's okay. We need to be okay with it, that, and I'm not just saying now we need to have low standards, that, because now it's the norm, then, we shouldn't even strive to buy a house. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that you shouldn't put extra mental pressure on yourself based on the fact that we're living in an economical environment that makes it extremely difficult for a young person to be successful. That is what I'm saying. And I think being okay with this kind of environment that we're in as a young person will only do positive things for you, because now you're not mentally affected by it. You're actually not stressed about it. You understand that this is sort of, how the world works, and you can only control what you can control. You'll be happier for it. I know I'll be happier for it. And I'm really going to try my best to just let go and only focus on what I can focus on. Like this YouTube channel, for instance. I can't, control if this is going to be a success or not. All I can do is try and make the best videos that I can. I can make the best content that I can for you guys. That's all I can do. And how you guys receive it, that's your business. And I just need to really accept that in all aspects of my life, that if I'm striving to go towards a different path, whether it be a different job or a new skill that I'm picking up, I can only control myself and what I do. I can't control how other people treat me. I can't control how other people see me. I can only control myself. And that is basically the message of this video, that you can't have everything figured out. You won't have everything figured out. And all you need to be thinking about is being the best version of yourself, controlling your thoughts, controlling your actions, treating people well, treating animals well. There are those goddamn birds again, man. My word. But I'll take a bunch of noisy birds over loud cars every single day of the week, I'll tell you that. But that's going to be the video today, guys. Thank you for all the support recently. I really feel that this channel is going in the right direction. Even though the subs are not, where we'd want them to be, I still think we're building something pretty special. So if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to support me further, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. And I will be looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care.